Forgot to record this. For those who are first timers, I'm Sister Shubhra from Dayton, Ohio, and I want to welcome our distinguished guest, Sister Aruna Ladva, who will be speaking for us today on the topic of It's Time to Change. A little introduction on our sweet sister who's going to speak to us. Sister Aruna Ladva was fortunate to have the blend of both cultures, the East and West. She was born in Kenya, educated in London, and worked in Vancouver, Canada, and has lived in various other parts of the world and traveled regularly to India. Sister was exposed to spiritual truths from an early age. In fact, she had her first meditation experience at the tender age of 8. By the age of 14, she had found her calling and decided to focus on what mattered most in life, the development of her soul journey. She has, for the past 40 years, Aruna, sister, has been studying the gentle art of Raj Yoga meditation taught by Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. She has authored 8 books and she has also helped establish meditation centers in Canada, Turkey, Bahrain, Kuwait. So without further ado, we want to welcome Sister Aruna to start her talk. Sister, welcome to the Zoom talk. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for having me. Thank you to the Ohio family for arranging this. And before we begin, just a moment of silence where we invoke Baba. And maybe we just ask ourselves the question, why are we here today? The topic is about change. So what is it about change that attracts me? Okay, just take a moment. So Om Shanti. So today, actually, the Ohio family wanted to talk about the book. So we won't literally talk about the book, but there is one topic in there that I think would be good for all of us. And before I come to that, just want to mention that actually all of these are applicable for the Brahmin family. It's just that this language is more kind of neutral and more kind of palatable for the Laukics. But everything here, values are caught, not taught, waste not, want not, mood management. Mood management, it's always, Brahmins can also get moody, right? As much as we try to stay stable, we can also become moody. And actually in here, I remember it said that something as simple as just walking, and this is by here it is somewhere, psychologist Robert Thayer. Anyway, he's saying that just walking can enhance happiness, which can help you change your mood. Healing the heart, staying clear of gossip, right? We don't need to gossip because we know that's bad karma. Don't take sorrow, don't give sorrow. So how many times do we say that we're not giving sorrow, but are we taking sorrow? We need to check that. How many times our thoughts become things? This is another topic. Student life is the best. Anyway, but the one I want to take up, which I think is quite pertinent, is the spiritual bypass, which is at the bottom of this page. And what I want to say is spiritual bypass is where we are not doing the real inner work. And it's like we're bypassing the spiritual real work. And what this means is that, like, we can get into the white clothes, you know, we can look the part, we can even pretend to be yogi, soft-spoken, but we aren't actually doing the inner work, which is the soul work. And if we're not doing that, then of course we will be frustrated, we will be tired, we will be, there'll be competition, there'll be jealousy, and a whole array of other stuff, this moodiness. So one minute I'm feeling good, and then the next minute I'm not feeling good. So we all know that in Brahmin life, that if we don't change, then something will happen in the drama to make us change. And I have seen this with myself, and I have seen this with others, and I've seen this with service. And I've seen that how if somebody isn't using the center and its facilities properly, then really something happens in the drama whereby the landlord will say, okay, I need the house back, I need the flat back, and this service needs to stop. So sometimes we can't intervene, maybe as instruments, but certainly something will happen in the drama to stop that. If the intention is not pure, if the intention is not to serve everyone, it's not for the whole, if it's just selfish, if it's personal, then definitely drama will help. So I have learned actually from a very young age, to really try to make drama my friend. In fact, if you look at drama, drama has the word ma, drama, right? So drama has the word ma, mother, in it. So it's really an aspect of how to make every single event that is taking place in my favor, because the mother will always look out for you, right? This is the aspect of motherhood, is the mother will always act in your best interest. And so this is how we need to see what is happening in our life, that it's actually happening to teach us something, to make us learn, to make us grow. And honestly, so many times when you think that you're in a very difficult predicament, but you just say, drama, please help. Of course, Baba, yes, but I'm just focusing on the aspect of drama right now. And you just say, drama, okay, you have to do something. And how many times, you know, say, for example, you're running late to a program, and then something happens where the program hasn't started. So you're just in time. Or like somebody was saying that today, somebody was telling me that she got a divorce with her husband, and when he came to take all the things, then what he did is he banged his big car into her small car and literally damaged it. And she said, actually, he did me a favor, because I couldn't have got the money for it, because, you know, it wasn't a great car. But now that he's damaged it, I can ask for a higher amount. And so he's actually, you know, served me by doing this. So this is what we learn from drama, and how to make drama our best friend through this. But also I want to now move on to say that the real spiritual work that Baba's asking us to do is the work where there is real change going on inside the soul. And yes, it's okay to wear the whites and to be the yogi, But it has to be from our core. It has to be from our chit. And this is what Baba did for the seniors, our dadis, our dadas. Those 14 years of tapasya that was spent, it was really to kind of clean out the chit in everyone and to really break that ego in everyone, to really purify that inner core. And that's why when each soul, came forward to serve or to speak or give the knowledge, it was really coming from that pure place. As Baba said in the Murli this morning, that it's not just the lecture, right, the passion, but it's the bhasna, it's the feeling that you give them. And so where is that feeling coming from? So firstly, the feeling is coming from that purity. And so you can use the word purity, you can use the word honesty, you can use the word reality, truth, true, any of these words that kind of give you this feeling of, absolute purity of the soul. And this is one of my latest realizations, that the purer I become, the closer I come to Baba. Because what is going to determine, if you think about it, what's going to determine that number? And that is our purity. Who's going to sit right next to God in front of Baba? And it is the soul that is absolutely pure. And then it's all number wise. So the purer I become, then I get that seat next to Baba. And then from that place, Baba is then able to use me. Because lately we've been actually discussing a lot about Sakash with the Kuwait family and a few others. And so Sister Jenti and both Sister Mohini were saying, basically we have to be in a very powerful stage, and then Baba uses us. So it's not like we focus on each person, but we just stay in that very powerful stage. And then whatever, Baba has to do through me, he's able to do, because I have that purity. And if you think about it, who would you use, right? He would use, and I'm going to go through some of the qualities now, but who would you use to help you? And so you would get the help of somebody who's honest, who's trustworthy, who's reliable, who's faithful. And you would say, okay, I want them on my team. So basically, purity is the first thing. And we always say this about new souls also, don't we? That until and unless there is this dharana of purity, then there cannot really be any other dharana. In other words, if you turn vegetarian, but still there isn't celibacy, it's not the same, because you're trying to move forward, but there's still like a ball and chain on your foot. And yes, it's difficult for some. Baba said that today also, that for some mothers it's bondage. And, Baba said that it's a good way for you to remember Baba if you are in bondage. But just to recognize that it's really, I came here to Baba to become pure. That is really why I came to Baba, because I was not pure enough. And I don't mean for us to beat up ourselves. That's not my aim here. My aim is to wake up and realize that whatever happens to clean me up, it's actually for my benefit, and not to resist that transformation, not to resist that process. So that's the first thing, really, is to wake up to the reality that I came here to become pure. Purity is my passport to the golden age. Purity enables me to get the seat next to Baba. Purity is my dharam, right? Dharam means my religion, which means my truth, my principle. And also when we talk of purity, we always say, when something is pure, it's just one, right? So when we have pure rose essence, or we have pure olive oil, it's just that. It's not diluted, it's not adulterated. And so am I really sitting every day listening to the Murli with that consciousness that it's just one Baba, right? One strength and one support. So this brings me on to the next quality, which is the quality of faith. And so Baba is asking us to have absolute full faith in him. See, in the Lokik world, because we are Lokik and body conscious, and all the relationships are filled with body consciousness, then we kind of rely on others. It's just natural to rely on your husband, or to rely on your children, or to rely on your guru, or whatever, right? So it's just natural to do that. But here, Baba is saying you have, the direct connection with Baba. I mean, Baba is available 24 hours. And so why is it not possible to have that one strength, one support, and to take power from just the one Baba? And everything, I want to say, everything that Baba has been saying has been coming true. So for example, Baba had said that there would be sicknesses where there wouldn't be medication for it. And this is what's happening. There is a sickness and there's no medication for it. Baba had said that you will not, if you come to Bharat, you will not find a flight out. And this is what's happened. And Sister Jayanti and Sister Sudesh are now sitting in Madhuban. And Baba had said that bombs will drop that will be filled with poison. And this is also what's happening, right? Baba said that there won't be anybody to cremate anybody. And this is what's happening with the COVID now. Even here, there was one sister who left her body, an English lady who was coming to class, but not because of COVID, just a heart attack. And only 5 people were allowed at her funeral. So they're hoping when everything settles down, they'll have a proper farewell for her. So everything Baba has been saying has been coming true. So obviously what Baba has said and has not come true, it surely will, right? In due course, it will. So we don't have to question it. We don't have to wonder, will it or not? I mean, Baba has said there will be civil war. Baba has said there will be nuclear war. And Baba has said we will all go home like a swarm of mosquitoes. I mean, all of that is going to happen. So are we ready? Do we have the faith? And if we have the faith, then we don't have to actually think. And this is the thing about faith. When I have faith, it's just the one, and there's no other option. But when there's duality, when there's two, then I have an option, and then I think whether to go left or right, this one or that one. But here, Baba doesn't give us an option. And actually, that's good, because we would just get very confused. And the next point I want to mention is that we need that stability. So purity brings faith, faith brings stability. And stability here means, am I really stable on the wheels of drama, right? And I want to share a story of Brahma Baba. So what happened, it was actually June 1956, and Baba was 80 years old, and he suddenly got sick. And so the local surgeon said, well, we can't do anything here. Baba has to be taken to Mumbai. And there are good surgeons there, and they can treat him better. And of course, all the children hearing this, they started to cry. And they said, no, they wondered what would happen, whether Baba would come back. And so Manohar Dadi is relating the story. And Manohar Dadi said, when they looked at Baba's face, it was absolutely stable, right? It was mature, like Gambhir, like we say in Hindi, it was mature, but a very calm persona. There was no look of pain on Baba's face. And even when Baba was lying in his room on the bed, and somebody would, look through the door, look through the curtain to see how is Baba doing, just out of curiosity to check, Baba would say, child, I'm absolutely fine. You know that this is an old body and that this body needs to be patched up. And even Mama said that when she was going to Mumbai for her operation. And she said the same thing to Ramesh Bhai, you know that this body needs to be patched up. It's just going for an operation. to the tailors to be patched up. But also what Baba said is, which was really nice, is Baba said that Baba is going so that service can happen. Baba said if Baba doesn't go, like this sickness has become an excuse for Baba to go. Otherwise, why would Baba go to Mumbai? And so Baba said, no, children, Baba will be back. It's just another scene. Baba's going to do service. And everybody then started taking leave from Baba as he was leaving. Some took toe leave. Baba was patting some on the shoulder, some on the back. And of course, everybody had tears, wondering whether Baba would come back or not. And of course, a lot of service happened during that time when Baba went to Mumbai. And that's what Baba was teaching, that there is benefit in every situation. And that service happens through everything. So this is the faith, actually, that we need to have. That and just to be stable, that no matter what. And I was sharing with our family that I happened to be there when Nirmal Shanta Dadi's body had come to Gyan Sarovar, and I happened to be with Dadi and Sister Jayanti. And I was sharing how Dadi was absolutely stable. And imagine Dadi Nirmal Shanta has been Dadi Janki's friend for what, 70, 80 years? Imagine you've known somebody, you've made effort for all these years, and you've been sometimes together in different centers. And Dadi was absolutely unperturbed, like not disturbed at all, not a single tear. Everybody else, even myself, I had a tear because I saw her assistant, Rukmani Ben, she was crying. So when she started, her tap went on, my tap went on, and everybody kind of started having some tears. But Dadi just, I remember seeing that powerful form of Dadi. So this is the kind of training that Brahma Baba has given the Dadis. And Baba actually even said that, there's another story where Baba said that Baba has a meter to check everyone's stage. And so all the children got confused and they said, Baba, what kind of meter do you have? And Baba said, yeah, Baba has a meter. And then Baba laughed, right? Because he was quite playful. And Baba said, in my room, I have a radio. And Baba says, when he listens to the radio and he hears bad news, like fearsome news, then he knows that the children's efforts also must be very fast because they're responding to, in a way, the call of the time. And when the news is Tanda, Tanda means like it's pretty cool, then children's efforts must also be a little cool. And so in this way, Baba was kind of rhyming, or let's say matching science and silence. And so Baba was saying that's the meter. The radio, the news of the world tells Baba what the stage of the children is like. So anyway, back to this, right? So purity, faith, stability. And then I want to come to the point of obedience. And actually, I'll be very honest, it took me a very long time to be obedient. Partly because I was using my manmat too much. But then I realized the hard way, actually, that all I needed to do was to be obedient. So I totally understand if, especially those in the West cannot understand this point, and there's a resistance to obedience. But I think if we can maybe use another word for obedience, and that is maybe surrender. So maybe surrender is easier for some, maybe obedience is easier for others. But what I'm trying to really say is we didn't get it right. We had lost the plot. We were lost. And we weren't really managing everything properly. We were not managing our relationships properly. We got ourselves into a bit of a mess, right? And really, what would we have done without Baba? So we were not really happy following Ravan's mat or Ravan's directions or Ravan's ways, because it wasn't really giving us that deep inner peace and contentment. So for me, what I've learned to do now is honestly to keep reverting back to the murlis, you know, and these are renunciation murlis that we have been going through. But all our answers can be actually found in the murlis. And so what I want to say is, it's about making the intellect obedient to what Baba's saying. It's about not allowing the ego to come in and to try and prove itself. This is the point. Because the ego always wants to step in, and the ego always wants to ask questions in the form of doubt, not in the form of clarification, in the form of doubt. And sometimes just listen to the Murli, just listen without a doubt, and just let the day pass. And then at the end of the day, check and see, well, what did Baba say? And what happened in my life? And was there a parallel to that? And that will give you proof that Baba knows what he's talking about, right? That will give you proof that Baba is following your life. And so not to doubt that, really, this is the point, not to doubt what Baba is saying. And there's a funny story that I want to share, just to make the point of how when we follow Baba, then it's about actually glorifying Baba's name. So there's a very funny story of this boy and his father. So his father was a boatman. So he used to ferry people from this end to that end. And so what happened is he kept telling his son, son, you must glorify my name. You must glorify my name. So his son said, yes, dad, definitely, for sure, you know, whatever you say. And then sure enough, one day the dad passed away. And so what happened is when he used to ferry the people, he didn't really drop them right to the shore. And so what used to happen is, you know, their ankles would get wet because they'd have to step in some of the water. And they always used to kind of curse him. So now that he died, everybody said, oh, good. Now that he's dead, you know, hopefully his son will do a better job. So what the son decided to do is, now that he ferried the people, and remember what's his mission in life now, is to glorify his dad. So what he decided to do was now to drop people even further away from the shore. So now they were not just ankle deep in the water, but they were knee deep in the water. And so in this way, what did people start to say? They said, see, the father was better than him. And it's kind of a, as we say, you know, the long-winded way of proving his point. But I think sometimes we get into this kind of trap where we're trying to glorify Baba, but not really, because we still fall for the vices, we still fall for Ravan, we're still attracted to Ravan, we still use Ravan's powers and not Baba's powers. And in this way, we're not really proving God, right? We're not really proving God's powers, Baba's powers. And so we have to be careful, because otherwise we will get trapped. And Mama also used to be so obedient. This was Mama's speciality. Mama was so obedient to what Baba used to say. And Baba used to say, children, you are owls, right? And then Baba would look at Mama and say, you are an owl. And Mama would say, Ji Baba. Ji Baba, you know, like absolutely no argument, no debate. You know, it was one of those cases of, if he says fall off the cliff, okay, I'm going to fall off the cliff because I totally trust you. So there was also another story where Mama was asked in 1962 that where do trance messengers go? And Mama said, well, Baba hasn't told us yet. So we can't ask this question. And when Baba wants to tell us, then he will tell us. But in the meantime, if we're asking this question, it's our manmat. This is what Mama said. And so Mama was known to have that, we say, sampuran surrender, that complete surrender to whatever Baba says. And this other story can be tied in with obedience as well as to trust, which is the next quality, right? So purity, faith, stability, obedience, and trust. And so this story about trust is where some children had come to take leave from Baba. They were in Madhuban, and they were about to leave. They'd just come to Baba, right? Baba's room to take leave. And then Baba just had the thought, and Baba said, Baba wants to feed these children halwa. And Mama immediately, right? Because every Baba's wish is kind of her command. And so Mama rushed to the kitchen and started making halwa. And little Mohini Ben, who was Dadi Kumarka's assistant, so she ran behind Mama. And then she's constantly saying, but Mama, they're going. There's no time. And why are you bothering and all this? And Mama said, no, Baba has said it and it should get done. And so Mama just continued with making the halwa. And then actually the party left because they had to take a taxi. Then they went to the bus stand in the village in Mount Abu. And from there they were catching a bus. But then what happened is the halwa was made, and then Baba sent somebody on the bicycle and all the way to the bus stand. The bus had actually taken off. Then he signaled to the driver stopped, and the brother went in and said, here is garam garam halwa for all the children from Baba. So you can imagine the feeling that these children must have had, that, wow, like, even though we left, Baba is still remembering us. But this is also Mama's trust. That's what I'm saying. She had just absolute trust that whatever Baba said, there's magic in it, there's power in it. And that's what I'm saying, back to obedience, to trust, to surrender. It's like, it's really the conditioning of the intellect to start to believe that what Baba says is what is right and not what is my manmat that is right. And I've shared this story many times of the sister who tried to fit the cupboard in the corner. And then Mama said to her, but see, now that you are right, then you've given birth to your ego. You see? So Baba was there and she said, yes, Baba, it can fit. And the moment she said it can fit, she proved it by fitting it into the corner. And then what did she do? She gave birth to her ego. And so Mama said, now that you know that you are right, next time you won't listen to Baba because you'll always think that you know better than Baba. So we have to really trust. And it's not something that's said. It's something that comes from our experience, that yes, what Baba is saying is absolutely right. And even in terms of, let's say, the centers, the running of the centers, even now, I mean, there's big question mark now. If we cannot hold big gatherings, then what is going to happen with all these big centers? And should we be selling all the centers? So even this, I mean, I'm sure that at the right time, the seniors will make a right decision and Baba will touch them to make the right decision. And Baba was asked this question, actually, that Baba said, what was the question? The question was, people ask, how do the centers function? So children ask Baba, people ask, how do the centers function? So Baba said, tell them that Baba has a well. And children started to get confused. And they said, Baba, what do you mean? And Baba said, just as there is that well of water where we get the, water out of, so here Baba has a well, and that well is Shiv Baba. So it's the well of Shiv Baba, and just to trust that Baba will provide. And again, I've shared many stories on that, where Brahma Baba, just during the beggary part, he just had the faith that if children are gonna go hungry, then he just sits in meditation. He puts that message, that request out to Baba, Shiv Baba, and sure enough, things get delivered on time. And he kept saying, this is not my work, this is his work. It's his duty, it's his responsibility. So this is something I'm also really trying to, I really want to embody this more and more, that really just to be the instrument, it's Baba's work. We just have to be ever ready and present and let Baba do his work. And so final quality I want to come to is actually happy and content. And again, Baba would ask the children if they were not happy, if they were crying, Baba would say, why, has somebody died that you're crying? Because it's only widows that actually cry. And so Baba could not see, Baba could not bear the tears of the children. In fact, I was just transcribing another interview I had done with Godauri Ben of Mulund Center. And actually, I'd also done this interview with this Uma Ben. And I didn't realize actually that she left her body. She left her body day before yesterday. Maybe some of you know her. Let me just try and get the picture. And it was funny. She's from Dharamshala. We had gone there, and this is the one. And she was just so lovely. She was just so sweet. And yeah, I didn't realize she passed away 10th of May. So yeah, such an embodiment. She said that it was Mama actually who encouraged her to surrender. But Godauri Ben too, she was in bondage at that time. And so she was in bondage. And again, everybody's experience is that when they had to leave Baba, they would have tears. And so again, one thing that Baba said to Godauri Ben is, don't worry, you will be back. And when she left Madhuban, because she had come with her aunt and her mother and everything, but then when she left, just these words kept echoing in her ears, that Baba said that I will be back, I will be back. And then eventually she did break her bondage and then go to Baba. But the story I want to tell you is, what happened is that she had made a Rakhi for Baba. And this Rakhi was made from sequences, just gold sequences. So it wasn't actual gold, but you know those sequences with the little hole. So she had kind of sewn that together. And when she took that to Madhuban and gave it to Baba, Baba was just so overjoyed. And Baba then was showing everybody, look, my daughter has brought this Rakhi made of gold, made of gold. And she said he even had a tear that he said in Hindi that, you know, she had tied him in love. Like she had tied Baba ko bandh liya. Ye pyar ki dor se bandh liya Baba ko. So she had tied Baba in love with this thread. And he was just so overjoyed. And he had a tear in his eye. So this is the thing. Like what I'm trying to say is, all those souls that were so deeply in love with Shiv Baba, with Brahma Baba, they were just so overjoyed. They were just so bubbling with happiness. And Baba had actually also said that just as there are drums and bugles playing when a marriage takes place, so Baba said here in the yajna, there should be drums and bugles playing every day. Because there they just play for one day to denote that a wedding is taking place. So Baba said, here every day, because we are getting engaged to the Supreme Soul, Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. We are the Parvatis that are getting married. And so Baba's saying, imagine if there were drums and bugles playing here every day, then people would wonder what is happening. And then you would tell them, come and get engaged to the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. So anyway, I mean, all that may sound kind of cinematic, but deep down we know that we are the happiest with Baba. And we know that we are happiest when we have actually finished our karmas. And this is what Baba's trying to tell us actually. The only way to become absolutely content and happy is by settlement of our karmas. And if there is any outstanding karma, that's when we go back to this and we know that there's the moodiness or there's the test or there's something or the other. And that is a sign that there's something still to clear, that I haven't become absolutely pure. So if there's any kind of, we say, any kind of dislike, any kind of irritation, any desire, all these are traces of impurity. And Baba made this very clear a few weeks ago in the Abhyat Murli, where Baba said that you don't have the desire, but you feel happy. Ichha nahi hai, but acha lagta hai, right? So we say, oh, Baba, I don't have the desire, I don't have the desire for this, but it feels good. And so that feeling good, if that feeling good is based on something outside of myself, then again, I'm setting myself up for disappointment. And so I really need to be happy from inside out. And you heard me say this many times, just be happy without a because. Not I'm happy because. Not even happy that I made good effort, because good effort should already be a natural part of my life. But yes, I'm happy just being with Baba. I'm happy, just happy, no reason to be happy in that sense. So basically, yeah, a lot has been shared, but this is, just to finish. So going back to, there's a chapter in here, spiritual bypass. And why I thought to focus on that is because I think time is coming to an end soon. And it's just so important to really to learn from our lessons. To, as I said, student life is the best. I mean, just take everything as a lesson, as a test. Because if we don't get the test, how do we know how far we have moved, how far we have progressed? And so not to resist, if somebody says something, if I feel something, okay, let me sit and check, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's going on inside of me? And then I'm the one that will learn. I'm the one that will progress. And that's what's needed now. Not, oh, you should be doing that and you didn't do that. I mean, I think that's kindergarten stuff now, really. If something happens, let me address myself. Okay, Aruna, what's going on? What's happening? Why are you feeling this way? What's the trigger? What happened? Where was your power missing? I mean, we do our own inner self-reflection. And as we do that, honestly, we grow from inside. We get to know ourselves better. We don't really want to know what somebody else is doing, right? We don't want to get into the lives of other people. We want to progress and we want to grow. So really to turn the mirror onto ourselves and to check inside what's going on. So I'm going to stop there, and if anybody has any questions or comments, I'm happy to take them.
Shanti, thank you. Arnaben, beautiful, beautiful talk. There's a question I see here which says, for the audience, I just want to let them know that we have two book clubs. One is an adult book club and another is a youth book club. And we are using both the books of Sister Aruna. One, the adults are using, It's Time to Meditate. And if you can see that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Can they see the book?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's part of your, becoming part of your virtual background.
Virtual background. Okay, so I'm going to actually take that out so that we can show your books. These are very beautiful books we all are enjoying. Okay, so this is the book, It's Time to Meditate, the first one for adults book club. And for the children, the youth, we are doing It's Time for Change. So one of the sisters, she has written, could you please comment more on values are caught not taught, especially with children.
Yeah.
So if you could elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying in the book, it's there very clearly. What I'm saying is really children learn from what we do. This is the point. And so you can't say to your child, right, be quiet when you yourself keep getting angry. So they're going to catch what you are doing. That's what I mean about values are caught. So if you are following a certain value system and if you are sure, then that's what they will automatically catch. So basically the answer is we as adults have to exemplify that which we want to teach the children. You know, even bad habits, we say, you know, don't smoke, don't go out, or don't do that, don't spoil the room, whatever. And as adults, we think we have permission to do that. And we think, no, we're just teaching them manners. That's why they shouldn't do it. But if we're not doing the same thing that we're preaching, then they're not going to really listen to us, or it's not going to be taken in. And yeah, that's what it means. So basically, yeah, exemplify, embody what you want to teach your children. And there's another question. Shall I take that? How to remember Murli points effectively?
Yes, please, go ahead.
In daily life. Yeah, so, well, there's so many ways. Depends what kind of a person you are, whether you're auditory person or visual person. So basically, I mean, in my early days, so in my, thank you. So in my early days, I would actually write post-it notes and stick them in a few places, even on top of my notebook or something. But over the years, I mean, it depends how you make effort also. Like now, I just try to take the fragrance from Baba's Murli and just try to embody that. And so basically, yeah, what I'm saying is you can write, you can review the Murli throughout the day. You can hear now. I mean, in our days, Murli was not available on the iPhone or the computer. So yeah. But I think to make our life easy, again, is it about remembering the points? Or I often ask our class, okay, what's the feeling you're left with after hearing the Murli? And then we kind of have to marinate in that feeling all day. So if today I felt like, you know, Baba was really, like today we churned, like, you know, what's the difference between Baba as the father and Baba as the guide, as the guru? Because Baba is both. So it's the feeling we're left with, that Baba as the father, Baba as the teacher, Baba as the guide. So even just carry away the feeling, you see, if you can't remember the Murli point, because you have to even just rejoice in this relationship with Baba. And that's what also gets you through. What does it mean the time is coming to an end? Well, that's what it means. That we are coming to the end of the kalpa. We are coming to the end of the cycle. We are coming to the end of the tree. Right? So, yeah, I don't really want to say how much time we have, but we can already see that we cannot do service now from our homes. I mean, from the centers. Right? It's already becoming difficult for people to come to the center. And Baba had said that also. Baba said there'll be a time when you won't be able to do service. So, yeah, times are going to get more difficult. It isn't the end yet, but it's definitely becoming more and more difficult. I hope that answers your question. Sister, they're asking, where can we get the book? Is there anywhere in the States? Because I know there is in the UK.
Yes. So the first set of books we had asked Peace Village to mail us. So whatever books they had, we got all of them. And we can ask them again if they have replenished and if they've gotten more books. They can always get it for us. And then you can go on the internet, probably also, like you're saying, Arunaben, they can get it from UK. I think one or two of our students did get them from there. So
And also Amazon, they're available on Amazon. But I just thought if anyone's near you, they can just pick it up from the center.
yeah, Amazon, I thought had only Kindle. I was not sure if they had the books, but possibly.
Okay.
You can check on that, yes.
And we have somebody called Kiran from Mulund Center. Okay, that's great. So yeah, as I shared the story about Godavari Didi. Any difference in faith and trust? Well, yeah. So, well, I've shared this story before. I'll share it again. Maybe some of you didn't hear it. So basically, there is a man who's walking between one cliff to another cliff, okay? And he's walking on this tightrope. So there's one cliff, another cliff, and this is the tightrope. So he's walking, but he's got his son on his shoulders, okay? As he walks across, everybody down below is cheering him and saying, yeah, wonderful, great, you know, you're great. We knew you could do it. And anyway, he makes his way across, he gets to the other side, and everybody cheers and says, fantastic, we knew you could do it, right? We believed that you could do it. So then the man says, okay, so I'm going to go back again. Now who wants to be on my shoulders? And of course, everybody said no. Right? First, he brought his son, put him down. Then he said, okay, who wants to now come across on my shoulders? So this is the thing, like we can believe, or as we say, we can have faith, but not trust. This is the difference. So we take Baba's Murli points and we say, yes, Baba, we believe. But if we're not implementing, it means we don't trust. That's what I meant about we still think Ravan's mat is much better than Baba's mat. You see? So this is how I see the difference between faith and trust. If I really trust, I really let go. I surrender. Okay. So should we have a little meditation then? Just one last question. While in Baba's service, someone makes a comparison and that triggers a feeling of low self-esteem. And I'm making enough effort. How can we self-analyze on that? So see, this is the big lesson we learn here, that I'm not what other people think of me, right? I'm not the opinion of other people. If I don't have a strong enough opinion about me, then yes, I will listen to other people's opinions. So basically, not to listen to what others think. And for that, yes, I need to really develop a very strong sense of self-respect. Right? In fact, that was another point. Charlie Bhai had mentioned it in his class, and a soul had come to Baba, and Baba felt that he wants to ask something. So Baba said, child, do you have a question? And he said, yes, Baba. And Baba said, ask. And he said, Baba, how can I build my self-respect? And Baba said, child, are you following Srimad? Baba said, follow Srimad. And, you know, also for me, the number of times that, you know, I've gone to Dadi with a question, Dadi Janki, and her answer will be, did you hear today's Murli? And, you know, she always took it back to Baba's Murli. And like she said in her videos, that the Murli is her Jan. Jan ki key is the key to her life. So anytime really you're not feeling so good, then just pick up, honestly, any Murli. Pick up any Murli and just wherever your eyes fall on those words, that's what you're supposed to hear at that time. And really believe that that's what you're supposed to hear. Okay. Okay, let's have a few minutes of meditation. So just sit comfortably. Let's try and just connect with Baba. So for a few moments now, I choose to keep the company of Baba. Baba is the absolutely pure light. And right now I choose to just bathe in Baba's light. Just a small taste of this light purifies the soul of so many birds of sin. And with every shower of Baba's light, I become lighter and lighter. Baba, you are the only one who totally understands me. You are the one who has chosen me as your child, as your companion. And I'm so blessed. You see something in me that I don't see in myself. But all I know right now is I just want to be your helper. Your helper in this big task of world transformation. I know you will guide me. I know you will be there with me. Always holding my hand. Baba, you are wonderful. There is no magician like you. You change the thorns into flowers. Something that no one has been able to do. And we will complete this task together. That is my promise. Om Shanti.